Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the news briefing for this Wednesday. We're going to start with the Clean Slate program, and the name of the program describes just what it is, and it's just what it sounds like. It's a free record cleaning if you were arrested, charged, or convicted of a crime in Monterey County. It's a special program offered by the Public Defender's Office, and we have staff from the Public Defender's Office here to talk about it. We'd like to start with Michelle Wouden, and then Michelle, I think you've got some staff there who's also going to take part.
I do. Thank you, Maya. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michelle Wouden. I'm one of the chief deputies with the Public Defender's Office. And we do have our Clean Slate program coming up this Friday, June 28th. And I am going to share my screen so that you can see information as our individuals speak. I will turn it over to our Clean Slate attorney, Zachary Newhouse, and following his remarks, we'll turn it over to Alex Maras, our in-house immigration specialist, to provide the information in Spanish as well. Zach, take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Not only does the Public Defender's Office provide defense to those accused with a crime, we also provide Clean Slate program relief. Clean Slate program relief is the opportunity to remove barriers to success by clearing up criminal records so that individuals can pass background checks for employment, housing, and help with state licensing. Even a short-lived encounter with the criminal justice system can make it difficult for an individual to obtain employment, housing, and public benefits. The Clean Slate program aims to help eligible individuals who have completed their sentence obtain necessary relief to move beyond their criminal records and contribute as productive members in the community. During our second annual Clean Slate Day on Friday, June 28th, 2024, we will be conducting intakes to determine eligibility for services, providing vouchers for live scans, which is a criminal record review, and providing general counseling to individuals seeking relief. This event is free of cost to the community, regardless of income. To be eligible for Clean Slate services, one must have suffered an arrest or conviction in the County of Monterey, no longer be on any type of court supervision, and have no pending criminal charges. We ask all those who are seeking relief to please bring your government-issued identification with you, as it will be needed to obtain the live scan, which again is free. The event takes place at 3 locations. First, at the Government Center Courtyard in Salinas, located at 168 West Alisal Street from 9 a.m. until noon. Second, at the Greenfield Civic Center in Greenfield, located at 599 El Camino Real from 12 noon until 3. And lastly, for women only, at Gathering for Women in Monterey, located at 147 El Dorado Street from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Also on hand will be representatives from Sun Street, Veterans Affairs, and the County Behavioral Health Department to provide resources to interested individuals. Although our office is setting aside a specific day to offer these services, we actually offer the Clean Slate program relief services during regular business hours. So if you cannot make the event, please feel free to come see us at 168 West Alisal Street, second floor in Salinas. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 until noon, and then from 1 to 5. Clean Slate relief is good for the community as it assists in rehabilitation and reintegration, reducing recidivism, promoting public safety, restorative justice, as well as humanitarian considerations. We look forward to seeing you all on Friday. And now I'll turn it to Alex Maras for the Spanish translation.
Buenos días. El defensor público provee defensa a los acusados, pero también tenemos este programa que se llama el programa de Clean Slate. Este programa es una oportunidad para los individuos que han tenido una convicción o han tenido una interacción con la ley para poder limpiar o borrar ese tipo de interacción. Estas interacciones, aunque son a veces pequeñas, a veces no son graves, pero pueden afectar al individuo cuando busque empleo, vivienda o beneficios públicos. El programa o el punto del programa es para que estas personas puedan obtener el alivio necesario después de que hayan cumplido sus sentencias. Durante este día de Clean Slate, el viernes 28 de junio, vamos a conducir entrevistas, vamos a determinar las personas que son elegibles para estos servicios, vamos a proveer vales para que puedas pedir tu expediente penal. También va a haber más consejería para aquellos individuos que lo requieran o que lo necesiten. Para ser elegible para este programa, tiene que haber sufrido un arresto o convicción en el condado de Monterey, no estar en ningún tipo de supervisión y no tener ningún caso pendiente. También estamos pidiendo que cualquier persona que esté pidiendo este tipo de alivio, favor de traer una identificación porque la va a ocupar para poder agarrar o obtener ese, su expediente penal. Disculpe. Ahora, este evento va a tomarse en 3 lugares o va a existir en 3 lugares. El centro del gobierno, the Government Center, aquí en Salinas, que está ubicado en el 168 West Alisal, y eso va a ser de las 9 de la mañana hasta el mediodía. El segundo va a ser en el Greenfield Civic Center, el centro cívico en Greenfield. Ese está localizado en el 599 El Camino Real, de las 12 hasta las 3 de la tarde. Y al final, solamente para mujeres, en Gathering for Women. Y eso está ubicado en el 147 El Dorado Street. Y eso es en la ciudad de Monterrey, de la 1:30 hasta las 3:30. Ahora, aunque este día es cuando vamos a hacer muchas presentaciones en varios diferentes lugares, estos servicios son disponibles todos los días aquí en el Defensor Público. Así que, por favor, siempre pueden venir a nuestra oficina. Estamos localizados en el 168 West Alisal, en el segundo piso, y estamos aquí disponibles de lunes a viernes, desde las 8 de la mañana hasta el mediodía. Luego hay una pausa para el almuerzo y luego de la 1 de la tarde hasta las 5 de la tarde. Este programa de Clean Slate es algo positivo para la comunidad porque ayuda la rehabilitación y reintegración de nuestros miembros de nuestra propia comunidad. Promueve la seguridad pública y también otras consideraciones humanas. Así que estamos bien alegres de poder verlos este viernes para poder ayudarles. Y ahorita voy a pasar a mi colega Michelle Wood. So now I'm going to hand it back over to my supervisor, Michelle Wood. Thank you so much.
You guys are getting your steps in today.
We are. Thank you again, everybody. If anybody has any questions, we are happy to answer those. Otherwise, we hope to see everybody from the community on Friday.
I'll give people a chance to put a question in chat, or they can ask directly if they wish. But you made a point about saying that Clean Slate happens. This is it's a one-day event to really call attention to it and to get people in who for services that might feel uncomfortable coming to the public defender's office. But you're saying you do this all the time. What is the impact that Clean Slate has on the clients that you do work with to get this done?
I'm going to actually bring Zach Newhouse back up for that information as well. He can provide some additional information on how it does benefit our clients and the community as a whole.
I have clients that go on to become county employees because they couldn't pass background checks. I have clients that go to become nurses, lawyers, doctors. I have clients who can't pass a background check and get housing, even though maybe they do have a job, they can't get an apartment. And there's various different things that these services provide to the community at large. And a lot of it is really kind of hope and moving past the impediments that some of the tangential things that happen with the criminal background check and helping people move on with their lives and get past it and going out and being employed and helping everybody really. So that's mostly what we do.
Wasn't that the real impetus behind the state law that went into it? I don't know if it's a law, but the state program that said, look, these people did their time, they've paid their debt, we don't want them to go backwards, we want them to go forwards. What can we do to help people get ahead?
Yes, exactly. The laws have expanded dramatically in just the last few years because everybody realized, well, the legislature has started to realize that if people are employable and they have housing, they don't commit crimes. There's a lawful means to do it. Recidivism goes down, the economy goes up. There's an employable workforce, and there's less people coming through the system because they didn't know that any other way. And people truly do. A lot of the people that I encounter on a daily basis really turns their lives around dramatically. Having some hope and having some goals, going to school. I talk to these people every day from all sorts of of different circumstances where they came from, but this program is directed about the day and now and going forward, where they're going and what they're doing in the future, and trying to put their past behind them.
It also seems like the event that you're asking the public to come to, you're also providing some wraparound services, because there could be people there who are coming to you for one thing, but then you could say, look, if you need help with something else, here's someone else that could help you manage some other thing you've got going on.
Exactly. That our partner organizations are really helpful, because a lot of times people come with questions from all sorts of different areas, be it housing, getting treatment, like with SunStreet. Our partner organizations and the other people that we communicate with, the Gathering for Women, all of these places are in need of services for the people that go there. And so people come to us with all sorts of different concerns, and it's important to be able to route them to the appropriate agencies to be able to get the help they need, and hopefully do well for everybody at the same time.
I'm wondering if we could do-si-do with Alex and have him, hopefully I remember the question that I just asked, but maybe Alex would talk about what a difference this makes. Alex, you heard Zachary talk about what a difference this makes in people's lives. People come into your office, they get it done. They don't necessarily, if they don't want to come to the public event, they can come to your office. What does this provide for people and change their life?
Sure. Okay, so to answer that in Spanish, cuando alguien cambia su expediente penal, no solamente le comprueba a sí mismo que ya pagó su deuda a la sociedad, pero también le permite pedir otras cosas y participar en la vida cívica y a veces estas cosas menores no permiten, no le dejan participar. Por ejemplo, cuando alguien borra un expediente penal viejo y ahora puede obtener un empleo con el condado, puede buscar vivienda, puede pedir algún tipo de beneficio público. Al final del día, la meta de la ley es rehabilitar a la persona, porque todos somos miembros de esta sociedad, ¿verdad? Y este tipo de programa les da una avenida para que esos individuos que han sufrido esos momentos en su pasado tengan la habilidad de reintegrarse a la sociedad y poder ser un partícipe más completo.
Thank you. It's just really great to hear that you're putting a lot of effort into getting the Clean Slate program out there, and it's really working. And that's the whole goal. Would you remind us, Michelle, again of the locations for Friday and who all can come?
Absolutely. Thank you, Maya. So our first location will be from 9 a.m. to 12 at the County Government Center at 168 West Alisal Street in the courtyard area. So it will be outside. I was going to say rain or shine, but hopefully we have shine on Friday. The second location will be at the Greenfield City Hall or the Greenfield Civic Center in their kind of courtyard area, but inside at 599 El Camino Real from 12 noon until 3 p.m. And then also at Gathering for Women, but this event at Gathering for Women is for women only at 147 El Dorado Street in Monterey from 1:30 until 3:30 p.m. So again, what will be offered is we will be conducting intakes. Individuals who do come to Greenfield have the chance to get their live scan or their criminal record review completed right there at no cost to them, as the Greenfield Police Department is assisting with that effort. Those who come to the County Government Center, as well as Gathering for Women, will receive a voucher to receive their live scan from either a location in Salinas or a location in Monterey. So those can be done on the date of the event as well. So we look forward again to seeing the community on Friday to support us in this event, even if it's just to come say hi.
Well, that's good. Come say hi to your friendly public defenders, right?
Exactly.
Michelle, thank you so much. And thank you to your staff for joining you and talking about this really wonderful program.
Thank you, Maya. We're happy to be here. Have a great afternoon.
All right, you too. And now on to our next topic. There are a variety of supportive programs continuing in Pajaro. The latest is a tenant rights workshop. Now, Pajaro has a very large renter population, and this workshop is being done in collaboration with the Center for Community Advocacy and other agencies to keep renters apprised on their rights, but also their responsibilities. We're very pleased to have Mindy Esqueda here from our Department of Emergency Management, and also Jesus Estrada from the Center for Community Advocacy. Mindy and Jesus, thanks very much for being here, and tell us about the workshop.
Thank you. Thank you, May. I'm happy to be here. So yeah, this workshop is a continuation of other workshops that we have been providing for the community of Pajaro. The County of Monterey is just committed to the recovery. And so what we've been doing is from the feedback that we've gotten from the residents, and we're just prioritizing the items that they wanted us to address and support and assist with. So last month we did a workshop on mental health. It was also conducted by CCA, fantastic collaboration with them. And so this month we're collaborating with them again, and we're doing one on tenant rights. So we're very excited about it. Yeah, it's going to be this evening from 6 to 7:30 at the Casa de la Cultura Center, which is in Pajaro. And we are thankful for them for hosting it. And with that, I can turn it over to Jesus, who can describe this in Spanish and also go into a little bit more about the details that he'll cover, which includes tenant rights, tenant responsibilities, and landlord and owner obligations. So they are an incredible resource for advocacy for the community. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Jesus.
Thank you. Hi, Jesus.
Hola, lo voy a hacer en español. Hola, mi nombre es Jesús Estrada, soy organizador con CCA y sí, hoy tenemos un taller o reunión con los inquilinos que viven en Pájaro. Ellos todavía tienen mucho miedo, cómo defenderse, cómo proceder, cómo abogar por sus derechos. Y esa es la razón que vamos a estar con ellos hoy para explicar lo que es el derecho de inquilinos y el proceso de desalojo y también responsabilidad de los inquilinos, porque también tenemos responsabilidades cuando nos entregan a la vivienda y cuáles son nuestras responsabilidades y también si hay problemas, entonces cuáles son los pasos que tenemos que hacer como inquilinos. Esos son las tres cosas o tres temas que vamos a platicar con ellos y también vamos a hacerlo en mixteco. Si hay familia que habla mixteco, yo mi primer lengua es el mixteco y español y es lo que vamos a hacer en Pájaro. Hoy a las 6 de la tarde, como dice Mindy, la Casa de Cultura, que se encuentra 225 Salinas Road en la calle. Es todo.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, so we're here for any questions if anybody would like to know a little bit more about it. Otherwise, we hope to see everyone tonight at 6 o'clock.
Very much for walking through not only the information about the workshop, but a little bit about what residents need to know. Are you finding that residents still have concerns about maybe not having housing, maybe losing their housing? Because right after the disaster that happened, there was a lot of concerns from renters that they may not be able to get back in, and they weren't sure what they should do. Do those concerns still exist?
Absolutely, Maya. And to that point, one of the things that Jesus had mentioned is that there is a lot of fear. And so again, kind of when we look at just even in disasters and emergency management in general, I've spoken about this before, but what people don't know is they're more afraid of. So, and again, knowledge is power. So that's why we're wanting to bring this workshop to let everyone know their rights as tenants. He's also going to speak about too, though, landlord no obligations and also tenant responsibilities, because it is a two-way street. So there's things that tenants are also obligated to do and have requirements and responsibilities. But again, we just want to provide this knowledge to empower the community because there is a lot of fear of they don't know. And a lot of them did have very bad experiences with their landlords after the floods of last year. So it's very important to us to support them in this recovery.
And the CCA has really been there to help with questions that residents have had. Jesus, people who have come to CCA, is there any one thing that they're concerned about with tenant rights?
¿Alguien me lo puede traducir? ¿Me puede traducir?
Sí,
Wendy?
claro. Le está preguntando que si las personas que han preguntado a ustedes ahí en CCA sobre las cosas que les ha pasado, ¿hay algo específico que les piden ayuda para les ayuden en cierto, cierto efecto, cierta situación? ¿O es diferente?
Hasta el momento no hemos recibido pregunta específica, pero sí hemos recibido, por ejemplo, algo que está fuera de vivienda, ¿no? Por ejemplo, en las calles. Ocupa más apoyo para limpiar las calles, levantar todo lo que es el tierra, lodo para que eso funcione mejor. Es lo que nos han pedido hasta el momento.
So what he's saying is, in terms of just specifically Pajaro residents, up until this point, they haven't received too many inquiries in terms of specifically for housing, but what they have provided support with is just in terms of improvements to Pajaro. So there's been a lot of complaints about the streets and obviously, you know, the mud, the dirt, things like that, ways to improve the cleanliness of the community. And so those are some of the things that they have been assisting with up until this point. And so after tonight, I'm sure that we'll, you know, with the feedback and all that, hopefully we'll be able to connect them with this support as well.
And so, Min, just one last question. What happens to the information that comes out of this meeting? It sounds like this workshop is really one-on-one, where residents can come and talk about what they're concerned about, get information about their legal rights, what they can and cannot do. Is there any thought to doing any follow-ups or putting out additional information for the future, for, you know, the next group of people who couldn't come to the meeting but still have questions?
Yeah, absolutely, Maya. One of the things that was really, I feel like was very positive that came out of the last one that we did on mental health, also conducted by CCA, was that they are very, very hands-on in their workshop and their presentations. And so, and they do spend that time to connect with each and every resident that was there. And so with that, they also, the residents and CCA agreed to continue on. So they are still joining in on more, you know, on that topic, providing more ongoing support. And this is just like the first of workshops. So we're hoping that this can be something that, you know, our plan is ongoing. This isn't a temporary thing. You know, we're not doing this just for a couple of months. You know, County of Monterey is committed, like I said, to the recovery. So we plan to do these ongoing workshops, ongoing preparation, just and any topics that are going to be relevant and support Pajaro. So we're hoping that after this, maybe we can continue on with further workshops and presentations for the community. So I'm hoping this will be just the first of many.
Thank you, Mindy. And that was all the question I had. Thank you, Mindy. And thank you, Jesus, so much for sharing this information. We hope the workshop goes very well tonight.
Thank you very much for having us.
Gracias.
Thank you. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the 4th of July. If you're like me, you have a dog that spends his entire 2 weeks before the 4th trembling in a corner. So we're very pleased to have Cindy Burnham with Hitchcock Road Animal Services here to talk about ways to protect your pet from with the outcomes of 4th of July, which are noise, but also how to safeguard them. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Maya. Thank you. Hi, I'm Cindy Burnham with Hitchcock Road Animal Services. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay. So here's my contact information. If you want it. Do you see my second slide with the graphs? Okay. So we're at 160 Hitchcock Road. This is the usual information I provide just so everybody knows where we're at. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, normally 1 to 5. All of our animals are posted online within an hour of either coming or going. And we take lost and stray pets from unincorporated Monterey County areas and include the cities of Salinas, Marina, Delray Oaks, Carmel, CSUMB, and Greenfield. We do not accept owner surrendered pets normally, but we're happy to talk to people about local resources if they have any questions. current capacity for cats, we're at 78%. We are in full-blown kitten season. So for those of you who saw some of these slides a few months ago, where we're at 30% capacity with our cats, we are now getting kittens in on a daily basis and have many up for adoption as well. And we were about 82% with dogs. We've been having a lot of great dog adoptions, so that's been helping us keep our population low. So I wanted to talk about 4th of July. It's coming. It comes every year. There's fireworks every year. So just these are reminders. And really the best one I can stress right now is don't wait until July 4th. Fireworks are already happening in every community. We are having pets come in already because fireworks are going off. Probably whatever community y'all live in, you're hearing them already. So it's really it's something you got to think about now, and not wait until the holiday, because there's a weekend before and after the holiday, and so there's going to be parties before and after the next couple of weekends. So for us at the shelter, it's weeks before and weeks after is when we see those intakes. It's not like July 4th happens and then July 5th we get all the animals. We've started getting them in, and we'll continue to get them in through the month. Know your pet and know if they're reactive, and then be prepared to keep them safe. Again, July 4th happens every year. So you have to understand your pet, but as the pet owner, it is your responsibility to keep them safe. Make sure your pet is updated and current identification to a microchip and an ID tag. Every year we find animals that get lost without an updated microchip. A lot of times if your pet has a tag with a cell phone number, people will call and say, hey, I just found your pet. Can I bring it back to you? We're actually offering free ID tags. If you don't have an ID tag on your pet and you want to come make one until the holiday, just come on by. Our open hours are 1 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday. So, and we're actually, our second microchip and vaccine clinic that we're hosting is full today. So we have a bunch of pet owners coming this afternoon to get their pets microchipped and vaccinated. So we'll be doing another one in August, or I'm sorry, July. Secure your pet even if you're home. So if you're home there, your neighbors could set off fireworks and it can set your pets into a frenzy. Keep them safe even when you're there. Check your doors, your windows, turn on the TV or a radio. And if you take them outside to go potty, put it on a leash. Believe it or not, we've had people that are like, my pet was right here and a big firework came off and my dog sailed over the fence. They get so terrified, they will do what they can to escape. So keep them on a leash if you know there's a lot of partying going on. And this is a big one we find. If you're away for the holiday, who is taking care of your pets? Do they know if your pet is reactive? Do they know the plan? Do they know what they need to do to keep your pet safe while they're taking care of them? Every year, again, we get people that come in after the holiday and say, my dog got out while my pet sitter was there. When you're not there, your pets have an additional layer of anxiety. And so while fireworks may scare them when you're there, now you're not there, you've got a stranger or somebody they don't know as much who's caring for them. And that's a whole new level of anxiety. So understand that, let your pet sitter know what may happen, and then have a plan. What is their plans for the 4th of July? Are they helping your pets? Are they there with your pets? And then if your pet does escape, the pet sitter needs to know what to do. A lot of times we have pet sitters that say, I don't want to call them. I don't want to ruin their vacation. Let them know that that's okay to do, because we need to contact you if we have them here at the shelter. We need something from them that proves you will allow them to take your pet. So have that conversation about what's happening. Write a letter with their information and your information saying they have permission to come reclaim your pet should they get lost. Those are all important steps to follow. We've been posting some checklists on our social media because we continue to find that people go on vacation and they're like, oh, it's fine. It's a major holiday, the loudest holiday of the year, and pets panic. So if your pet gets lost, I've shared these before, but really want to reiterate, start searching immediately. Don't wait. Talk to your neighbors. The more people that know your pet is missing are more eyes and ears looking out for them. Post on social media, the lost pet groups, the ones that are close to your neighborhood are really important. A lot of people go there first before they even let us know. It may sound old school, but post signs and flyers. Visual helps. People are still driving around. People are still out and about. So not everybody's on social media. So doing all of the things in the various platforms helps. If your pet has a microchip, call the chip company. If you don't know if your pet has a microchip, bring it here. We'll scan it and we can tell you. Report it to us and other local shelters. Again, they may get lost and head to another shelter. And don't give up. Scared pets can hide or be brought inside. The more ways you know that it's lost. And I will say there is some science, but cats tend to stay closer. They tend to run out and hide under a tree and they'll stay there for a while, where it's dogs that tend to wander for more blocks. So kind of thinking of, if you were a cat, where would you go? Cats don't just take off and run, they go hide. But dogs will go wander or they'll take off and run. And so there is you can look for them differently. And on the texting app we have, if you text the single word 831 LOST to the phone number, you'll start getting tips and links. And there's actually some really good videos that talk about the differences between dogs and cats and when they get lost. If you find a lost pet, thank you for keeping them safe. Our ask is that you try to find their owner before just picking them up and bringing them to us. And that's because accidents happen. Not everybody whose pet gets lost is a horrible pet owner. Gates get left open, friends and family are there, or a dog gets really scared and climbs over what they normally would not climb over. Things happen. Look for tags with any numbers, ask around the neighborhood. Again, cats tend to stay pretty close, especially if they look like a indoor cat. Dogs may wander. Put it on social media. Somebody say, oh, I recognize that dog, and then you can get them home. If you are able to hold it for a day or two to look for it, for their owner, you can definitely report it to us so that if we get a contact, we can connect you guys to give the pet back. And if no owner is found, the shelter is here. And I have a next slide with our holiday hours. But again, you can text the word 831 found to the 833-664-0513, and you'll start getting links and reports to specific to what to do to get the animal back home that you've found. So we have two different sets of hours. Our shelter hours are typically Tuesday through Saturday from 1 to 5. We have some different hours with some of our adoption events going on, but we are still closed Sunday and Monday, and the shelter is closed on July 4th for the holidays. Critters are still being taken care of. We still have staff and volunteers here doing the cleaning, the feeding and stuff, but the shelter is closed on that day. Our field services, which is our animal control officers, is typically closed Saturdays and Sundays, but otherwise, except for the holiday, they will be open 8 to 5, and our officers will be responding as normal. If an owner can't be located, stray and lost pets can be brought to the shelter during business hours. And if you need an officer for field services, you can call us during our business hours. Just a reminder, we've got some adoption hours for those that haven't lost or found something but are looking to adopt. Tonight we're open till 7. We've got our special adoption, $25 for cats and $50 for dogs. And then the last 2 Saturdays in June, we've actually extended those adoption hours. So the next 2 Saturdays will be open at 11 a.m. with the reduced fees as well. Once again, there's my contact information. And if anybody needs any of our information in Spanish, we do have some translators that were just not available right at this moment, but happy to present that as well.
Cindy, thanks so much for walking us through all that. One thing I do have a question about, which is medication. And you talked about knowing your pet and, maybe how to soothe them or keep them confined during this 4th of July. What advice do you have for people who think if I medicate my, dog or cat, it would go better? How should they handle that?
Well, the first thing I would say is you should contact your vet. And if you haven't done that already, it may be very hard to get in. So if you haven't done it yet, once you get off of this call, you should do it right away. Only because vets, are busy and have appointments, but that is definitely something to talk to your vet about. It can be specific to your vet's size, age, breed, medical conditions. It can be helpful for some, but again, it should be under the advice of a veterinarian. So, and you best know how that may affect your pet. Some people have tried it and it doesn't work. Some people, you know, they start them a week or so before. Some only do it on the day of, but it can be very specific, but it definitely is something you should consult with your vet.
Cindy, thanks so much for walking us through all that. We hope for the best, and I'm getting a microchip for my scared boy today. So I'm finally joining the microchip club.
Excellent. We will see you tonight then.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. And then we're on to our last topic, last but definitely not least. This weekend features the Monterey Peninsula Pride Celebration, and this will offer a parade and performances, food, and a lot of fun. This is also a great opportunity for the health department to be on hand to offer resources to the community, such as Narcan and fentanyl testing strips to vaccine and HIV testing. We're very pleased to have Liz Gandara here from the health department to talk about why staff is coming out for this event to offer resources. Hi, Liz.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you so much for the lovely introduction. We're definitely going to be offering all of that at Monterey Peninsula Pride. So first off, thank you to the Monterey Peninsula Pride Planning Committee that has been working tirelessly to make this event possible. There are going to be over 70 vendors attending. So like this is massive compared to last year. Definitely encourage folks to come out and support and definitely come out and go to the parade as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing some slides. All right, are y'all able to see them? Just for some visual representation of a little bit of what we're sharing. As mentioned, my name is Liz Gandara. I am the HIV or STI Health Program Coordinator with the Health Department in the Public Health Bureau. And we are celebrating Pride Month. And so every June, we have lots of different events within our communities. It's very big in San Francisco, New York City, the big cities, but Monterey County also has its very special Pride celebrations and a lot of history in them as well. And so we invite you to come out. It is happening at Custom Plaza, but before that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've already been doing. And so this last Saturday, we went to an event hosted by Palenque Arts and the Epicenter, which are amazing community-based organizations that do a lot of work towards uplifting our community, our LGBTQ and youth community. And so Yosimar, a Bay Area poet, came out and they had an open mic event where we shared resources on county health and HIV testing, STI testing. Monterey Rape Crisis Center was out there in addition to a lot of other organizations, as well as Monterey Peninsula Pride as well. So it was really great. A picture of, there's a lot of people that were behind in this area, but this is just a picture from the event. We did go out there and share Nido's resources. Nido is a clinic within the health department and clinic service bureau. And so they are particularly focused on providing HIV testing care and support, as well as treatment. And then they also do STI testing and a bunch of other resources we'll share in the next following slides. Additionally, we also attended Dia de la Familia, which happened on Sunday. This event hosted thousands of people at the rodeo grounds, and there were like over 20 or 25 community organizations out there providing resources to our community. And so our focus, of course, as HIV programs was to provide HIV testing resources in addition to safer sex supplies such as condoms, lubrication, and a lot of outreach for Pride. And so that's what we were out there doing. We tabled along Access Support Network, which is another nonprofit organization focused on providing support for hepatitis C and HIV testing care and treatment. And then we also tabled along with Nido, PA Deb Farrell Gonzalez, and of course our condom distribution, which I was out there, and we provided naloxone fentanyl testing strips and over 1,000 condoms, lube, and other goodies and a bunch of pride stickers to our community members who are primarily Spanish speaking. And so this was a great turnout from the community. We also advertised a free Take Me Home HIV testing program that is completely free through CDPH and CDC initiatives. Let's see, what is next? And then Monterey Peninsula Pride, which is this upcoming Saturday. We're getting prepared for it. You can't see it, but there are like tons of boxes of condoms right behind me. And the lights turned off in my office, so I'm so sorry about that if it looks a little dark in here. But some of the offerings that we are going to be providing or incentivizing, encouraging people to take advantage of our needle clinics services. And so they provide PrEP. It is a very effective, amazing medication for HIV negative individuals that can take advantage and who you know, it's a medication for anyone who's interested or anyone who feels like they might be at risk of contracting HIV, or who might have a partner who is HIV positive, uses needles, shares needles with others. And so it's a wonderful medication that can prevent HIV, even if they are exposed to someone who has HIV. They also offer HIV testing, treatment, and care, STI testing and treatment, hepatitis C testing and treatment, and substance use dependence treatment. In addition to all of those services, they also provide gender affirming care. So a wonderful resource from our needle clinic. And this really, the Monterey Pride offerings that we're having, such as the Mpox vaccines at no cost, is a collaboration through California Department of Public Health's turnkey program. So it is completely free, no cost to anyone who's interested in getting vaccinated at Pride. We're also going to be offering naloxone and fentanyl testing strips, thanks to Shiva and Ella from the health department. Condom and lubricant distribution with Pride messaging as well. And then Access Support Network, who is one of our subcontractors, will also be there doing their annual HIV rapid testing. And so really a lot of really wonderful resources. This is not even touching to all of the amazing resources that are going to be provided at the actual, just in general. Like I said, there's going to be over 70 organizations there between vendors and community-based organizations. So definitely it's going to be an amazing event. Lastly, I did want to plug in our Take Me Home resource, which is a partnership through, I mentioned earlier, CDC and CDPH. And this is a free HIV test that anyone can request to their home. We definitely, I think it's encouraged that everyone at least get tested for HIV once in their life. This is a completely free rapid test that you can order to your front door through the mail. It is in a very discreet packaging, as you'd get any other sort of package from the mail. And it takes 20 minutes to get your result after following the instructions on the package. And so it is very confidential. You know, you don't have to visit a doctor's office, although doctors are really wonderful too, to like be able to get more information about testing and what it means and whatnot. So if someone is looking for something that they can do at home, this is a really wonderful resource. It does test for HIV antibodies. So following that, I think I'm going to be getting some help from Karen and the comm team in regards to marketing this out into our community. June 27th is National HIV Testing Day. And so they're going to be supporting with the posting of a few resources. And so this is the Take Me Home test, and we're going to be providing that in both English and Spanish. And so just plugging that, as well as that is tomorrow. And that pretty much sums up everything I had planned. But if you have any questions, you can go ahead and send me an email. Yeah, and that's my information. And I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Yes, thanks so much for sharing this. You guys are really busy. I don't think people realize how busy and active your program is. You're out at Pride Day, and you're also out at a lot of other community events. Are you finding that is really the best way to reach people with services and support that they may not realize are available to them?
It is a wonderful way. I think nothing really beats that person-to-person interaction of like, hey, these are wonderful resources that that are going to help you. There's one thing to go on social media and put something out there and get like, you know, a limited amount of folks who are on those platforms to find it. But when you're mixing that with being out there in the community, talking to people and letting them know that even if these resources are not for them, that they can share it with others. And I think that our community is very resilient and very much open to telling their friends and families about what resources are in our communities. And once they get informed, I think definitely that is a very good strategy to use. And I saw that happening this past weekend, actually. People were taking tons of condoms and saying, I'm going to give these to my nephews. I'm going to give these to my auntie or my cousins. And so that just really shows that folks really care not only for their own health, but like for the health of their community, their family members, right? So yeah, just wanted to share that.
Well, it also shows that people they want services, they want information, but they might not feel like they want to go to the health department and go somewhere and tell someone their life story or something that they might feel that they're not ready to share, and who that might not be the person they want to share this information with. But coming to you in a fun atmosphere, they can pick and choose what information and resources they need.
Yeah, it definitely. I think that's very true. And there's a lot of laughter at these events. And so I think that it also helps that they're also incentivized. There were a lot of incentives at this event for folks to come and talk to the tables in the booths. So I think that also really helps. And Clínica de Salud was the one who hosted this previous event. They did an amazing job with getting folks out there.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks so much for walking us through not only what's happening this weekend, but all the work that you guys are doing to help people safe and healthy.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all so much.
And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week. We'll see you then.